Good morning, family.
Good morning.
The first picture I wanted to show you is taken in 1964. I just got out of the Marine Corps and I went down to Atlanta to start my research on the family tree with Mabel. I went to the archives. I did some research, saw the slave manifest and other things. And that's when I started doing the research and dispelling this myth that I had about the Dorsey family, because we're Dorsey. You'll hear this name come up, Dorsey, a lot in our family. Go to Gen 1. I wanted to put a face to some of the way she went with the chronology of the family tree yesterday. I wanted to put a face to it. So, this is the only picture that any member of my family, I don't know whether you've seen the Marine trees, of our grandfather. Nobody has ever seen him. In a slave book written by Mark Ostrander, called The Accident of the Slave Owner, that has to do with the role of the church that the church played when it was willed slave. One of the bishops was willed a slave. And they put this picture to show that the black community was not cotton pickers. Within our own community, we were well respected, and we were business owners. This is the Bass family. This is my father's, the first time I ever saw him, my father's father. And I thought he was my father. Okay? There are four generations of us. There are four family names that you will see here a lot of. Okay, Henry Bass, we all start from Henry and Tallulah, which is what she said yesterday.
I'm circling them.
This is Henry, and that's Tallulah Bates Bass. Part Cherokee Indian. Okay, and then the rest of the family members are our relatives that the older folks would know. Now the reason I just want to take a minute to let Mabel tell you who they are, because she can decipher the old timers here. So give her the floor for me.
Okay.
This is a fantastic picture. It contains aunts, maybe one uncle, that many of us in this room have seen as old people when they were 80, 40 years old, 80 years old and up. Like Ron said, we're starting with Henry Bass. This is the father. Oh, okay. All right, starting with Henry Bass. He had 10 children. They are, okay, they are Louise, Annie, Maddie, Lottie, Claudina, right here, all right? Coming down, I can't remember what her name is offhand. Okay, and his sons, he had 3. You can't see his face very well, but this is a young man, he's about 14 years old, holding either Uncle Tommy or one of the other firstborns on the other side of the family that was close to his birth. So this picture was taken around 1914, before 1914, all right, which is World War I. That's what they were going through at that time. This is most likely Uncle Streeter, which is Lottie's husband. Now the ones that we all remember is Aunt Lottie, Aunt Claudina. Got that? You point to it, please. Right there. Right. Uncle George, who was married to Aunt Annie. This is him right here. Looking and all her hair. This is Thomas Ewell Bass, okay, our grandfather, for all of us. Now this is the grandfather for those who are Cecil's family, Cecil Jr.'s family, all right? So that's your grandpappy as a young man. I don't think he's even, I think he's about 20 plus, okay?
Right here.
Yes. Okay. That's one of the daughters. Another person you might recognize is, some people remember Maddie. Your father did, Robert Bass remembered Maddie. Okay. Now, Uncle George, right here, married Aunt Annie, which is right here. And I'll be darned if she don't look the same. She never aged.
Just the same.
She just never aged. And on some of her pictures, she is just an absolute beauty. Just breathtaking. Here, I suspect she might be expecting. She looks a little bigger than she normally does. I believe that they came from a funeral. If you notice, they're all kind of subtly quiet and not happy. And back in those days, you really didn't smile in these type of pictures, you know. I guess it had something to do with the timing of taking the photos. So anyway, to identify this man as possibly Henry Bass's father, okay? I found 3 candidates that fit his profile, and I can't put a name on it just yet, but the one I picked, the favorite that seems so close, is called Kitchen Bass, all right? I guess because maybe he too had a restaurant, or he was known for his cooking, or whatever. And it was odd that his name is really Robert, and his wife's name is Molly. Isn't that something? Yeah, I was just like, I couldn't believe it. Okay, so now him being the oldest one, I want to show you how some of these relatives look like us. And maybe you can't see it now, but you know, when you look at this picture time after time, you say, oh gee, that looks like, okay, here's my dad. In essence, like, you could tell they're his family. Here, all right, here, these 2 brothers, all right? Now remember, I've always had the little poem, the little saying, 2 Bass men married 2 Bates girls. There were 3 Bass brothers, and here they are. John, Henry with the glasses, and Marion, the one I said you spelled with an A at the end, okay? So now I don't want to go too long, but there's some family members, like I said, that look like us now. To me, I see my father's structure in his face, and if you ever thought about it, doesn't this guy kind of look like Julian Jr. a little bit, or it could be his grandfather or somebody? Have you noticed that? No, it's okay, but he really does. His structure, his face is like the same. Yeah, I think that might be Annie, I'm not sure. What? Oh, okay. You're right.
That's my daughter.
Yeah. Okay, and here's the oldest person on this picture. He's carrying a picture of a woman. You can't see it, but vaguely she's wearing a white blouse with a black scarf around her neck and an upsweet hairdo. I found that picture. So possibly that's his wife, who must have just died. That's why they were gathered together at this funeral. Another clue, if you could go to the right of the picture, is Maddie looks holding like she's holding a program or some sort of writing about what the deceased is, you know, their family member. So that's about it, and everything else is speculation. I have some good candidates of who they are, but I'm not going to say because I'm not sure. But this person, I do know who it is. We've all heard of Aunt Louise down in Atlanta, who was a school teacher. And that's her right there. as a 14-year-old, 15-year-old. Okay? The fair-skinned people are family. They are, most of them are white. And it's odd to see, but Tallulah had two sisters because their mother was a white woman from Virginia. And here's Tallulah, here's her sister, and here's her other sister. Okay? So I'm gonna turn this back over to Ron so he can finish. Oh, I didn't do the last row.
Oh, yeah, the
The
little one.
children. Okay, sorry about that. Does anyone remember Brother Streeter?
Yes.
Howell Streeter? Here he is. All right, and his little, those outfits, a little Lord Leroy outfits they used to wear with the hats and the tights. It was after one prince or something like that. So that was the fashion of the day. Here's Uncle George's son, right here.
George DeVries.
George DeVries, and this is his brother Cecil. All right, the little girl is one of two people. I have a photo that Denise shared with me.
Yeah.
And there's a little girl on her mother's lap, and both children, both boys are in the picture. So I don't know if that little girl survived. And here you can tell she's not sickly, and she's about a year or two older. And the others, if it's not her, then she belongs to Harold Streeter and his brother Travis. Okay? So now that should be complete. This little girl is a family member, but I don't know her name.
Coming back to Jen. Okay. All right, the first one I want to discuss was George. He's the older brother. So George represents Cecil and his family. So George is here. This is George. Okay? This is Cecil Sr. Okay? One is Pam. Is that you, Pam?
Yes.
All right, Ronald? Did Ronald raise your hand? Is that you? All right.
And that's on Claudina, just.
George is Henry's brother.
Right.
So he's at the top of the chain. Henry is everybody's grandfather. Below that, he's in charge of the Cecil family. He's the main one.
Oh.
Okay. Next.
But see, that's Streeter right there. You see?
Oh, yeah.
On
that's
Claudina on there.
And Annie.
And Annie,
On the end.
which is our
Okay.
grandmother. But that lady right there
Which-
next to me is Streeter's wife.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Emma Streeter.
And you gotta remember, you gotta pick brains when people get older, otherwise you're not gonna even know what your family tree is all about.
And the one over at the Streeter, cousin Maud.
Oh, Maud,
Yeah. Maud Morris Bass.
Right.
She was the oldest living Bass, 102 years old.
Yeah.
She's a
right.
daughter from the president.
That's George,
Yeah.
and this is my mother's mother.
I remember George.
This is Lily Sims, and she married a white man from Sawyerville, Alabama, and I'm doing history.
William Gale Sims.
William Gale Sims, born in 1882 in Sawyerville, Alabama. Okay. All right, this is Lottie.
Aunt Annie, my grandmother, Claudina.
Right. Okay.
And Claudina's in the middle.
Next. Claudia. All right, that's Tallulah. She's the matriarch. Everybody here that's the Bass or in Cecil's family comes from the matriarch. Next.
Yeah.
That's
She
good.
put all those belong to
Henry Bass.
Henry Bass.
Right. All those belong to Henry Bass. She's the wife and the matriarch. Henry's the patriarch. That's Tallulah again. That dress, you can see from that dress, she had some money. Because in them days, you know, if you dress like that, you really had to be pretty well off.
She made that.
She leave any?
That's from that.
Made her.
Then she made money making them dresses.
Yeah. She leave any dress?
I can go to Gen 2 because we're the only family that I've hardly just about ever met that can go 6 generations. You talk to any black person today, they cannot go back 3 or 4 generations. I've asked many people, hey, do you know your grandfather, your great-grandfather? They don't know him. So for us to go back this far, we're fortunate because, no, like I said, you ask anybody if they know their great-grandfather, and you're going to get, out of 9 people, you might get 1, maybe 2, out of 10 people. Next. All right, first picture. Okay, this is Aunt Bessie. And this is my father's sister, Aunt Mabel. This is Aunt Stella. She's a Dorsey. Her father is Stephen Green Dorsey, and we'll explain her later. She passes for white, so and she went to finishing school in Ohio, and she never returned because she wanted to remain white at that time. That's Aunt Stella. Next. All right, this is George.
Wow.
Patriarch of Cecil. This is another relative. He was one of the, oh, this is Bates, Mr. Bates, one of the Bates. This is Thomas Bass.
Yeah.
Uncle Tommy, everybody knows Tommy.
Yeah.
And that's my dad.
Yeah.
Robert Bass, that's Robert. This is Gen 2, mind you. All right, Cecil. Cecil and my father were very close. I remember him very well. Yeah, I loved him. And your mom,
Elizabeth.
right? George and Ann.
Yep.
Okay, now this is,
That's my grandmother. Yeah.
okay,
Margaret.
Yeah.
And the girl here?
And that's Margaret. Miller.
Margaret.
Her sister.
That's George on the tie, that's George.
Yeah.
And the only one living
All right,
is my
this
own
is,
sister.
now you're gonna hear Mama Lucy. Big Mama Lucy is a Dorsey. This is Mama Lucy right here. She passed to white. She was 20% white and approximately, 20% African American, and the balance of her she was 80% white. This is Tommy when he was a young man, and this is Maybelle. So she would be Maybelle Dorsey. She's one of 2 children of Stephen Green Dorsey, which I'll explain him a little bit about it later. I belong to the Genealogical Society in New Jersey, and we discuss Stephen Green Dorsey, and right now we're in a forum with the white Dorsey families, former slave owners. Next. This is Mama Lucy again, when she was older. Okay. Now, Mama Lucy's associated with the Basses more because on Maybelle Bass's side, 2nd generation. Okay, go ahead, next. All right, well, go to Chan. All right, now. Oh, okay, this is Maybelle. This is our grandmother when she was younger.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm showing you the older version of the picture because I actually restored this picture to a black and white beautiful version. Okay. And that's Maybelle again as she got older. And this is her, but my dad. That's my dad and his friend, Robert Bass, right there. Okay, this is Wilbur.
Yeah.
Wilbur never had any children, and this is his wife. I remember him, all they did was travel. They didn't do anything but go around the world. Every time you turn around, Wilbur was on a cruise. He didn't stay still for a minute. He had a home somewhere down in North Carolina, I believe. But you turn around, he never stayed. This is Big Mama Lucy again. okay? She had 4 husbands. Okay, because she had many surnames. So she had Wheeler, she had Dorsey, she had Mel, and that's my dad. Okay, that completes Gen 2. Okay, now I just want to do individually. I want to go to my Aunt Mabel. Go to Aunt Mabel. All right, she doesn't get enough credit. She raised my dad.
Nice picture.
Next. This is Mabel, Larry, okay, Robert, and Tommy. Those 4, most of us here are from those 4 people. Okay, this is Mabel. She had a daughter.
She has.
But I've never met her. I've never seen her. I think she's deceased. She had a daughter that was deceased, but she never had any children. But we used to run. We used to come to the house when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Everybody used to run and hide.
Except for me.
Because if you step out of line, she'll beat you up in a minute. Next. But there she is again. When she was younger with her friends, hanging out. Okay, oh, that's how I remember.
Wait. Come on, you just got a flashback?
All right,
There she is.
Talk about her occupation.
she was a nurse.
Yeah.
All her life, she was a nurse. She dedicated herself to nursing. And she nursed everybody. She nursed my dad. She nursed Tommy. She nursed Larry. You know. Any comments there?
She pierced my ears.
And she
Oh,
pierced
okay.
mine.
Pierced my ears.
All the girls in our family, she did with the ice
Yeah.
and the straw
That's that
and the
needle
needle
that
and the
down
chain.
for us.
Right through. Lay here on my
And she
lap.
moved to Co-op City in the Bronx where we looked after her. She passed with our family up in the Bronx. But we loved her. All right, now, Thomas Ewell Bass is next of the patriarchs because he's one of the oldest. All right, this is Julian. Where's Timmy at? Uh-oh. There you are. That's it.
Put your pants up.
There you go. Julian.
Oh, there's Julie.
Now, you can go to Wikipedia.
Wow, I miss him.
When you go to Wikipedia, look him up. He's there. He's a very famous jazz musician. You read about him and his accomplishments. It's amazing. I don't even want to tell you about it. When you get a chance, go to Wikipedia. I want you to type in on Google, Julian Ewell. Julian Ewell, and he will come up. All right? And we'll show him as a very educated and famous musician. Okay, Tommy and my Aunt Ludy. Okay, he's the postman she spoke of. I remember him going out to Long Island. He was 4 o'clock in the morning. This guy was gone. And coming and sleeping while we got to Long Island. Yeah, sleeping.
You can pay his face up there.
And he dressed. Boy, this guy was a dress. You fucking told me. That's Peggy.
Peggy. Here she is, Peggy. Where's Peggy?
This Peggy. That's her
All
dad.
right.
That's Tommy.
That's a good-looking man. He is handsome. Is that Becky?
Yeah.
Yep.
When I wanted something special from him, I would get up at 3:30 in the morning and make him breakfast.
Yeah, that's right.
I make the breakfast too.
And there is again, Tommy.
That's your daddy.
Great guy, we love him.
Yeah,
I am Mama.
Okay, there's Tommy and Peggy.
And Peggy again. Julie.
There's my Aunt Ludy and, uh-oh, Lynette? There's Lynette.
Oh, cool, cool.
Raise your hand, Lynette. There she is.
And Aunt Lucy.
And Aunt Moody. Lynette?
Yes, that means I'm gonna dance well tonight.
Exactly.
You gonna put on those shoes tonight?
Peggy.
There's Peggy.
Oh, Peggy, you look so good.
Okay. Tom? Helen, that's Helen. Helen's first wife, that's Julian. When he was a baby. Julian Senior, when he was a baby.
Don't we call that a blended family, correct?
Yeah.
Blended.
There's Dapper Tom. Whoa.
Oh,
Look at them
God.
shoes. Now look at them shoes.
Oh,
I forgot the name of this shoe. Wingtip. Whoa.
Got on this white weight too.
All right, now this picture is around the time that he fled to New York. Okay? Nobody can come up here and get him now. You couldn't even see in the background. That's a typical New York tenement.
be scared of you.
A brownstone. In Harlem, He lived up in Harlem, 137.
That's Aunt, yeah, right.
He was on 137th
I'm
Street.
37. I was paying attention yesterday.
Tommy Bass.
This is Tommy Bass Jr.
This is Grandpa's fault.
Grandpa's
Brother.
brother.
That's his brother.
That's the namesake.
Oh, that's Tommy's name. Oh, okay.
That's you. That's Tommy Yule. He switched his name around.
Remember, he had to flee. You gotta let everybody know about it.
If you remember the story of Tommy, he fled Georgia because of his relationship with Bass-Euell-Dorsey, who was 20% African American and 80% white. So she passed for white. He couldn't walk down the street with her at that time. Plus, in the climate and the atmosphere of the 1920s, Georgia was a very dangerous place. And we're related to the governor of Georgia. His name is Hugh Manson Dorsey. He is the nephew of our great-great-grandfather, Stephen Green Dorsey. Now, in the genealogy forum, we discussed Stephen Green because our great-great-grandfather owned 41 slaves as well as 2,500 acres in Henry County, now Clayton County, Georgia. He was good. He was good to the slaves, even though there's no such thing as being good. Anyhow.
Hold
But
on,
his family, the Dorsey family,
1 second. There's a chair there, folks, and there's 2 chairs over here, so don't be shy now. Come on.
Come up here too.
Yeah, come on.
All right, go ahead next, because I gotta.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So we're gonna move along. All right, now I want to go to Larry Bass Senior. All right, now this, okay. My Aunt Ruth, I love her.
Aunt Ruth.
Yeah, I love her. Everybody love my Aunt Ruth.
Yeah.
Next, just move along. Oh, wait, anybody know who that is?
Yes.
Uncle Tom.
No. Who? Uncle Larry.
Uncle Larry.
You're Larry. Who's that? Larry, that's your dad. That's your dad right there. I think he's about 2 years old. He's 2 years old in that picture.
Wow.
There's terrible twos again. Let me see. That's Mabel's son. And he even looks like the Dorsey. He had blonde hair too. When he was born, he had blonde hair. Look at him. See it right there. That's him again.
Wow.
Uncle Larry.
And he reminds me of my brother Bobby. That's him as a teenager there. Now he was always gone because he was a merchant marine, and he traveled most of the time aboard the ship. So he'd come into port and maybe spend maybe a month at home and be gone for 6 months.
Uncle Larry had a tent. Oh, he was in the circus.
There's Mabel.
Oh, look at little Mabel. Oh.
All right, now this picture, I love this picture. This is my dad. That's Aunt Mabel. This is Larry, and that's Uncle Tommy right there.
Oh my God. Wow.
How many people have seen this picture?
Never.
Whoa, just 3? Wow. Okay, I think that's black and white too. These 2 guys were like peas in the pod boys when he came to town. Him and my father would always hang out. That's
He
right.
definitely
That's
would be
right there, Robert.
Back in the day, it was okay to have all that liquor out and all the kids in the house.
That's right. That's right. We were nipping.
This is Robert Bass. He had 10 children. Okay, I'm one of those 10.
Senior.
Out of the 10, all the women here, Maureen, Billy, Shirley, Teresa somewhere. Okay, next. That's a beautiful picture. Larry, love that picture.
That's his wife Ruth, right?
That's Ruth. That's
Yeah.
right. Ruth Flavia.
That was after a play.
She was, her heritage is I believe it was Panamanian, part Panamanian? Colombian. I know she was exotic. That's my father and mother renewing their vows at 50 years.
Oh, that's when they renewed their 50th?
Larry and Auntie Ruth.
There's Bobby up there.
And there's Robert Bass
Yeah.
Jr. right there in the background.
And there's Robert Bass, the Lord.
That's Ruth, and that, is she here? No, she's not here. That's Larry's daughter. Which one is this, Larry? Okay, Vicky.
Is she here?
Okay, there's Larry and Ruth. Okay, they're very young there, boy.
That's Uncle Larry?
You got that
And that's the
slick
way they
part
used to wear their hair, with that cut in the middle, I don't know. So you know that's all.
Yeah.
Uncle Ron, don't you have a
Okay, that's it.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to say, look at your card. No, your card is on the
All
side.
right. Hey, I got the bully pulpit right now. All right, now the next, next is Cecil.
He'd be all right.
All right, now they talked about, Tommy Senior was a store owner. He owned a grocery store in Atlanta, by the way. I saw that, I researched the newspapers in Atlanta, and I saw Mabel and Tommy as store owners in their yellow pages. There's this vast Southern luncheonette, lunchroom.
And that was in Harlem.
This is Cecil. Cecil,
And George.
right, Cecil.
If you point up to the top of that word, you see
See the vast.
Bass Southern. It won't let me hold it for some reason.
But they can see it says Bass Southern Lunchroom.
Wow.
Is that in Atlanta?
No, that was in Harlem.
It was in Harlem?
Yes.
You know, I did never see that before.
All right.
We saw it.
We saw this one.
Okay, that's Georgia. That was played.
Oh, let's see.
Are you here? Is this gentleman here?
Yes, he is. He's right there. Right there.
That's Cecil.
Me and Mother.
Goodness.
With the
I
part.
think he's on the basement now. I'm trying to-
And the part with the center to the side.
I knew you were here, that's why I threw that in there. That's his
That's my
dad.
daddy.
I love this picture, and the next picture of his mother is dear to my heart. But that's him under there.
Yep. That's my mother.
That's Mama.
Oh, she was so
Oh,
good.
that's Elizabeth. They look like brother and sister.
That's the one I love. This is-
Yes.
The tree splits, right?
She did military service during World War II. Everybody should know
Yeah,
that.
they met while they were in the war.
Right, they both were in the service, I believe. Isn't that correct?
Yep.
Oh,
There she is again. Oh, look at her. Salute to your father.
Yes, yes. That's her too. Right.
So that would be Karen, I think.
Yes, that's Karen.
Right, okay.
Now, that's in Staten with my grandmother, Molly Miller, Elizabeth Miller, Bass, and Karen Bass.
All right, Mom, Elizabeth Miller, okay, Karen, all right.
And that's is still alive in her 90s. She's Elizabeth Bass's sister.
Okay.
Still alive.
I was gonna ask about that picture, because I knew it was, that's why I put it in there.
That's not Elizabeth's sister.
Yes.
All right, you get down. Oh, that's the military, that's the military picture.
Right, George and
All right, go ahead, that's it right now.
Nice.
All right.
Oh,
Robert.
yeah.
Okay, these are my two older sisters, Lorraine and Barbara. They've passed on also. That's my dad when he was younger. All right, this picture was destroyed, and I redid the picture. It was very difficult. It took me maybe about a week to do it. I did it do it with dots.
Yeah.
You see, it's damaged, very badly. But this was my mother's favorite picture.
Maureen,
And my mother handed me the,
looks like
she handed me the destroyed picture, and when I returned it, it looked like this. She was laughing. It is Mabel and my dad. That's my mom, when she's a teenager.
That's my mother.
Now you know why my father had 10 children.
Sexy lady.
There he is, my dad, driving the train in New York. Okay, he did that until his retirement. And then he took over a store from my brother when my brother didn't pay him back. Whoa. Oh, my brother had 4 other businesses. He couldn't handle that one. Next. Mom Bass, that's my mom. Mom Bass.
They can't sign one. That's
Oh,
that.
oh.
Yeah, 7, yeah, there you go.
Daddy Bass.
Yeah.
Now, this is this is the early.
It's grandma.
Some people ain't here.
Grandma.
That's me, Maureen,
Yeah.
Barbara, my mom, my great-grandmother who was blind, we took care of
Yeah,
her.
yeah.
There's my grandmother and her mother,
Uh-huh.
okay? There's Bobby, Robert Bass,
Randolph.
Richard, and this is Randolph Bass.
Yeah.
Who's here?
And
This would be Therese, because she comes after Maureen. So
And where was me and Lily?
We weren't on that.
Lillian, you're not even Lillian. Lillian is the last.
That picture don't count.
They say
That's
best
the
for last.
that's the before on the picture. Mom's peeking around the corner.
No flashback, I saw that.
That was my mother at the 2001 family reunion, Bass family reunion.
The very first one.
The very first reunion, that's correct. Okay, and that's my dad with my sister Barbara. And you didn't, I didn't get to this one.
I know, 'cause for some reason, it didn't.
All right, yeah, that one. That's my mother and father's 50th anniversary. Okay, then there's myself.
Slide over a little bit, so everybody can see it.
There's Therese, Maureen, Robert Bass, Barbara Bass, Shirley Bass, Ronald Bass, Lillian Bass, Mom and Pop.
They ain't got no baby.
Okay, that's when they renewed their vows.
Just for.
Okay? All right. All right, these are the cousins. I like this picture. All the cousins are together when they do that.
Yeah, they go Lamar.
All right, there you got Lamar, Jason, Xavier, Mohammed, okay, this is Tommy, and Billy.
Billy was the son.
Billy is Shirley's son, and
Bobby's son.
Tommy's his younger brother from Robert Bass. There's my father's store we were talking about. He bought a house with that store. And that store was next to a project. Everybody bought sandwiches from my father's store.
Yeah.
He was clean. He washed that, cut the meat, wash it again.
Okay, let me do something for clarification. The
Pardon me?
name of that store was Bass.
Sim.
It was Bass Sims
They
Deli.
were part.
They would buy a project located in the Bronx, one of the largest projects in the Bronx. And he bought a house from that store in no time and paid it off.
He sold a lot of tuna fish.
Wait. And the search is there after you eat the tuna fish.
Just a good thought, just a thought.
The only ones that got to live in that house was Shirley and Lily.
Hello.
Hello.
They played in the backyard.
Don't
All
forget.
right, that's still in the picture because it's on the Robert Bass's.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, we did this.
Yeah, that's, okay, exit out before we do. Okay, I want to just do something quick now. I'm gonna go to the, no, don't go to our paper. I'm gonna leave Stephen Green Dorsey out for now because I want to get to the, well, at any rate, I was wondering how can I be related to the Dorseys and stuff like that. Last year, I did my DNA. I put it as Ronald Bass because I'm not a criminal, I don't care, they can check it all they want. But you can put your DNA as anonymous, and you don't have to put your name there. You can put an initial there, you can put anonymous, you can put anything there. If you want to get it done just to see, because a lot of people are skeptical about putting their DNA out there. For political reasons, for lawful reasons,
Legal.
for health reasons, number one. Because when they get your DNA, they can tell if you're sick. And they can tell if you have any disease or about to have any disease, like Alzheimer's. If your family has that trait, where you have Alzheimer's in the family, it's in your DNA. Males have 22 DNAs, and females 22 DNAs, and really 23, because the last one determines whether you're male or female. So there's 44. When we're born, we get 50% from the father, 50% from the mother, goes to the child. Now when the child has a child, 25% of the father, 25% of the mother goes to that child. That's why they show up in the DNA. And then it goes down the line. You see, then you get 12%, then you'll get 7%. And each time you get a percentage coming down the line, that'll be lower and lower. So when you get a certain percentage and you see it on the DNA scale, you can say, hey, that's a cousin, a first cousin, a second cousin. When you see the amount of autosomal DNA that they have, it's called autosomal male on the male side, and a mitochondrial on the female side. So let's go to,
Internet Explorer.
yeah, go to Internet Explorer, go to the first bookmark. Click on genealogy.
Right here?
Yes. This is my genealogy here. Well, let's do this one. Can we just use it? That's my genealogy reading right there if you want to look at it. I'm 52% European and 46% African. And then it breaks down the regions of the world and the country that you're from. Now, I did my DNA on two sites. I did it on Ancestry, and I did it on 23andMe to say, hey, wait a minute, let's see if these guys are correct. I did it anonymously, so they don't know who I am. So for them to associate it, they would have, I put a name to it later. They would have to associate it without knowing who I am or what color I am. So both of them came up with the same as that chart. 23andMe and Ancestry came up with the same reading. 52% European, only 23andMe came up with 46% African.
That means you're more white.
Or European.
Okay, go here.
Your DNA matches?
I call you a white boy now.
Okay.
That won't look like that.
All right, these people in this chart, some of the family members took their DNA last year when I started doing the DNA thing, and they put their DNA in, and they had to wait a couple of months for it to pop up in there. Every time I turned around, one of the family members popped up in there, and one took over the other, took over the other, took over the other, so it just continued to associate very closely and very accurately. But first, I had all these people down here, then my daughter, Lori, over there, she took the DNA test. She popped up on top of everybody. You see El Lopez? And I'm the manager there, so nobody can contact her without contacting me. So you can make it administrative where nobody can associate that DNA to you, but you can be associated with a family. Okay? That's why I did L. Lopez as a manager. And then SG is managed by Nina Cole. Nina? Raise your hand. Okay, that's Nina Cole. And Ruth Bass Brown there. That's her. Came up. There's Nina Cole. And Brandon Green is Nina's son. I mean, Nina's brother. Sorry. Brother. Now, funny thing, Mara said, I don't know, with an extremely high DNA. And Milton Johnson, I don't know, with extremely high DNA. But it says he's my second or third cousin.
Wow.
So, I don't know how to figure that thing out. So now, there's Dee Clement. She came down here, his third cousin. Okay? Cecil is my cousin.
Yeah.
So that makes you my third cousin. Cecil is my second cousin because he's my father's first cousin.
Right. And you're older.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right, now, here's a funny, I've been doing research. Every star that's lit up, I send emails to those people because you try to contact them, they answer you through Ancestry. Either they contact you or they don't. But go up a little bit. I want to show one person that I made a contact with that amazed me. Okay, up a little more. I met this guy, there's Carla Sims. Somehow she's related on my mother's side. She didn't answer me yet because she comes on once every couple of months. D.G. Thomas is a relative of ours. That's that lady in Ohio,
Yes.
right? I traced her. We found a family in Ohio that's related to us, D.G. Thomas, and she has a tree with 19,000 people in it. I don't know what that.
That's quite the thing.
She puts everybody. And tried it. This guy here, when I contacted him, he got back to me. He said that he works with with LeBron James and the Cleveland team. He's a writer, sports writer, and he works directly with the team. So we're in contact. We go back and forth as DNA cousins. So I was wondering how we related. So click on him. Okay. Now go to where it says pedigree and surnames. Come down a little, come down a little. All right, he did a small tree up there. Okay, go to view full tree. All right, go to where it says Entwriter now. Go to Entwriter. See, he did a short tree, but I found another one in there because he said I don't know who my grandparents were. He said, but my cousin did the tree, so he put me in the tree. So he's related. This woman here is related to us. This is his grandmother. And the way she's related to us, let's look, her name is Gertie Pearl Thomas. No way we know her at all. Let's figure this out. Come up a little bit. Go to the tree.
Right here.
Thomas family tree.
Wait, come down. Come down a little bit. Come down.
Sims family tree.
No, I think you turn, you got to go back one. Because there's another tree. When you clicked on his name,
I'll click here.
Entwriter. No, Entwriter.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
All right, come down a little bit. Go to Thomas Family Tree, 150.
Okay, my bad.
Or you went to the small one again.
My bad.
Go to 150. All right, now, here's the woman that's supposedly related to us. So what happened was I said, "Man, who the heck is she?" So when we look at her chain up here, Thomas Petty Sr. is the child of Dora Bass, Henry Bass's sister. See that? And she's married to Carrie Petty. Okay? And look how many children they had. They're all related to us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 kids she had.
Wow.
They're all related to us.
Doing best.
Then, this guy had her
Are there more kids?
that had Mr. Entschreider.
To the
Mr.
side?
Entschreider's parents are down here,
Hey, Dad,
so he's below
can you zoom
that.
out? See if there's more
So he's
kids?
our 1, 2, 3,
There's 12 kids.
1, 2, 3, 4. He's our 4th cousin.
Wow.
And we don't know him. This is why we don't know him, because a lot of times the surnames change, especially with women when they get married.
Right.
That's why they get lost. Dora's lost up, and we found the lost family. Every one of these people here are actually family members of ours
Wow.
that we don't know. And that's by blood. And all those DNA hits are coming up on my DNA, the ones that took the DNA test for a certain amount. Go to the next one. No, go to the next thing.
Favorites or whatever.
Okay.
So we're going to 23andMe for a minute. Go to 23andMe.
It's going. Right.
Okay, sign me in. Okay. Go to my tools, go to tools. Go to my DNA relatives. Yeah. All right, now all my relatives came up. Carla Sims came up again. On my mother's side. I never met her, I don't know her. There's no star against her because I didn't send an email to her. Lenoir Clancy and this guy has so high on my DNA, I'm saying, what the hell are they? Come to find out, they're 99% European. They don't have any black members in their family as far as they know. So, when I went into each one of their trees, they, 99% European, were Dorseys. So, as you see, this is his daughter, this is him. I asked him why his daughter's is higher than his on my DNA. I couldn't figure that out though. But anyhow, he's my age, and guess what? His great-great-grandfather is Stephen Green Dorsey, which is our great-great-grandfather. And now he's shocked. So he comes back with the DNA, he comes back with the email, and first he's looking at motives because of the fact that the family is very wealthy, and Mabel Bass was, they want to know if she's going to make some kind of claim to the family fortune or whatever. So we made it clear to all the Dorsey family members that we're doing this purely on a historical research basis. You know what I mean? And they were very receptive to that. So then they opened up widely to us. And they're giving us all the information we need. And they're even doing research with us. And Mabel and I started a forum. And we're in a forum with the white Dorseys. And I met some white Dorseys family members that do the tree and things like that. And they expressed to me that they were very proud to have black members in their family. I'm serious. Yes.
Oh, wow.
You know, one of this lady's name is Iris Wiley. If you click on William McMichael.
I'm sorry,
Dirty, but he wasn't nice.
That was nice. I apologize. I thought I said that under my breath.
No, you did.
Go to Lenoir, please.
Go where?
Click on Lenoir.
On the name.
Click on Lenoir.
Oh.
Yeah. I go down. She hits my DNA on these segments. She hits my DNA on 2 and 20. Now, according to my genetics, 2, anybody that hits me on that 2 and 20, I discovered, are European. All right, 2, 8, and 20. And each one of those genes means something. Go down further. Then it tells where their family's located. Look, Georgia. North Carolina, Florida, and Alabama. This is mine, Jonesboro,
Covington, Georgia.
Covington. This is mine on the left.
That's where our family is.
Indianola, Pennsylvania, Atlanta, Georgia, and West Virginia, which is Mama Crawford, and Ireland. Ireland being my grandfather, William Gale Sims. He was from Ireland. If you go down, I'm 52% European, he's 99% white. That's my DNA compared to theirs. That's what happens. Then it go down a little further. There, see Dorsey. Okay? If you look at their family tree, you'll see that their family tree will lead back to Stephen Green Dorsey. All right, now, these are all the other people that we're both, that come up, that we're both related to. And not very many of them are African American.
Uncle Ronald,
Okay.
does that Carla Sims show up with where she's from?
Pardon me?
That Carla Sims. I know Charlene Sims. That's your mom's cousin.
Yeah, I know, but she's from New York. I know her.
Yeah, but is Carla Sims her from?
She mentions Alabama a lot, so she doesn't say much about New York. So she's on my grandfather's side from down there. Okay, you get out of there. Now, what you can do, this is the last part with regard to the DNA. If you do your DNA, you can put it up on what you call a GEDCOM. You take the DNA and you upload it, which it's located, a file is located in the Ancestry where you can upload your own DNA, whatever you put there, whether it's with a name or without a name. You control that. You can tell them to throw it away or get rid of it or whatever. But you could take that DNA and you can put it on a site called GEDmatch. Now what GEDmatch does, it associates you with all the DNA sites. Heritage, Family Tree DNA, 23andMe, and Ancestry, and any other sites. It will give you the entire database of all the brothers that are related to you. So let's go there. Go back to GEDmatch. Log me in. Go to, come on, one-to-many matches. Right here, one-to-many matches. Put A, capital A. I go to 561964. Click display results. Everybody has their email address here, everybody. And everybody here is related to me. And there's over 1,000 in here.
Wow.
Okay? And there's the combination of the amount of DNA that's associated with me. If you go to the top, you'll see how much I carry. I have the 3,000 up here, okay? There's Lopez, my daughter. She's right there. Okay, see how much DNA she carries, almost all of it. Look at Nina. Nina has hair. Well, you look, 513 on the autosome, right here. She's the highest, Nina. Okay. D. Clement is here. D. Clement. That's the D right there. And Lenny Mack is the Dorsey that I was telling you about. She's here. We're very high, 77. Her dad didn't do it, but he would be up there too. There's Entrider from Ohio again. He's 60.8. So everybody, it's easy to associate, like from 40 and up. When you get down to 39 and down, you're usually around fourth cousins, and it becomes very difficult to trace back. But I have that many people there to start with, you see? Okay. All right, then come down a little bit. There's a lot, come down all the way. There's a lot you can do with this. See, you can match a person that you see, your DNA directly with theirs, and it'll give you a breakdown of how you're related. Does it say click X for a list of matches that a person? Okay, wait a minute. comparisons. He does all your comparisons when you click on the little area there. Okay, that's about it on the DNA. If anybody has any questions regarding the DNA?
Quick question.
Go ahead.
What did you have to send in?
They send you a file, you fill it up with sputum, and then you mail it back to them. You gotta wait a couple of months, then they put your DNA, they'll put your DNA and give you a kit number. All right, come out of here.
Huh?
Yeah, come out of here. Let me see what that- All right,
watch your step.
Just so you, yeah, just go here for a minute. We're in the Dorsey, here's the Dorsey book. Here's the book, Colonel Edward Dorsey, here's the Dorsey book. John and Mary is Stephen King Dorsey's father and mother. It leads all the way back to the 1600s in England. Okay? To Edward the immigrant.
Come to the other side.
If you go, okay, if you
Come to the
go,
other side.
I'm over here.
Yeah, because you don't block.
okay. If you go down on the tree, okay, there's Stephen Green Dorsey. He's our great-grandfather here. He's born, he was 93 years old when he passed. He was born in 1822. He died in 1915. And he had Mabel at the age, in his 60s, in 1884. And Estella, no, 1886. Estella, the other daughter, was born in 1884. They both passed for white, so he sent them to Princeton School in Ohio. Estella stayed in Ohio in order to remain white, and Mabel Dorsey went back to Atlanta and married Thomas Bass. Come down. So Stephen Green Dorsey was one of the brothers. Rufus is one of the brothers, is a lawyer in Atlanta. Okay? He was also a judge. And everybody leads back to Solomon, John, Nicholas, Henry, Joshua, Colonel Edward, and Edward the immigrant that came from England in the 1600s. All right? He was the first Democratic member of the legislature from his county after the Civil War in 1879. He moved to Atlanta, Georgia, and he later became a distinguished jurist of Georgia. Go down. His son.
That's as far down as I can go. You want to go up?
Oh, go to the next page. All right, go. There's 42. Exit out. Exit out. Just go to 42 and I'll be finished. Go to page 42. Okay, then Judge Hugh Manson Dorsey, the nephew of Stephen Green. Okay, served as governor of Georgia for 2 terms, 1917 to 1919, 1919 to 1921. He served as judge of the Superior Court Atlanta Judicial Circuit since 1935. His children, you see, he had children. He named his son Hugh Manson Dorsey Jr. And so on and so forth. It goes down. All right. And so far, I've had DNA hits on 9 members of the Dorsey family confirmed. Because they did a lot of DNA testing. That's why I was able to come up with nine Dorsey family members. And how many do we know now that we're in the 4 with? About 4, right? About 4, yeah. Okay, let me see. I think I'm just about done. I'll just exit out. Yeah, okay, here's Stephen Green. That's a picture of Stephen Green. He owned he died at 93. Okay. And he was a farmer. 2,500 acres in Henry County, now Clayton County, Georgia. And he had 41 slaves. He was the largest slave owner in that county. Yeah. And many of his slaves, although they were not family members, they took the name Dorsey, even though they were not in the bloodline. And when the Civil War ended and the slaves were freed, he gave them the land in the back to live on. But everyone that, instead of taking the land, they got out of Georgia. So not very many people stayed in Georgia. Because the climate of the 20s drove African Americans out of Georgia. And Tommy knows that he was also in danger from the Ku Klux Klan down there also. Because they were clearing out entire towns of black people during those days. And you either went or you were home. So, all right, just one more. Okay, that's chronological. Go out of there. I just want to mention something about the estate before I finish. This tells about the Dorsey estate. So where is the? Yeah, right there, Dorsey estate. Go to Dorsey estate.
This one?
All right, how many people heard of the book Gone with the Wind?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, Margaret Mitchell wrote that book. She's a Dorsey.
Oh,
The place where that film was made, Tara,
right.
is the property of Stephen Green Dorsey. Go down, go up. Keep going. Here's the property. Up, 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 up. All right, I don't want to read the whole thing. Let me read this. Stephen Green Dorsey was one of the major planters in the locale by the time of the war between the states. Clayton County Tax Digest for 1861 reveals that he owned 1,900 acres of land in Clayton County and 500 acres in adjacent Henry County, making a total of 2,400 acres. In 1861, Dorsey owned 41 slaves and was the largest slave owner in Clayton County. It is appropriate that his plantation was the locale later made famous in Margaret Mitchell's novel, Gone with the Wind, and that neighboring planters included Miss Mitchell's great-great-grandfather, Phillips Fitzgerald, who married a Dorsey. Then it says Dorsey regained his fortune after the war, despite the loss of his slaves. He lived to an advanced age, dying in 1915. In his 93rd year, the Crawford Dorsey plantation is, therefore, both an antebellum and postbellum Georgia plantation. Some years before his death, most of the management of the plantation passed to his son, Isham Green Dorsey, 1854 to 1927, who had married the former Rhea Fields of the local neighborhood. That's about it on Dorsey. That gives you perspective and idea what he was about. So, the Dorsey family made it clear that, hey, we're cousins, and DNA doesn't lie, so there's nothing you can do about it now. Welcome to the family. So, that's the reception we got from the Dorsey family. Yeah, let her, she want to make a comment.
Yeah, I just wanted to make a comment that if in fact you decide to have your DNA tested, don't put a number or something, just a number that's unidentifiable. Put a name. It doesn't have to be your name, but it could be a name that only you make up, that you know it's you. You have special identification that it would be hard for someone else to come up with the same name. I find that in trying to track my own DNA, I'm glad that I put my name because out of a whole bunch of people, there I am, you know, because a lot of people make up numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, and there's a lot of those, and people who are related to you won't know that they are because you're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, A, B. But here I use my name as Ruth Bass Brown, and that doesn't have to be your choice. Someone can say, oh, a Brown and her name is Bass. Maybe I'm related, and I'll check you out. And it's done through Ancestry.com, through your email. All right, so you have to put a legitimate email. Don't make that up. And you can make up a name that would indicate your surname or a name of your uncle or aunt that you're interested in finding out about. And do it that way. And every other month or so, they run a special. It's usually $99, and the special is $20 off. So if you're gonna, do it go get the gift of 20 bucks off. The other thing is, I would recommend for your first DNA test that you go with, I'm a big Ancestry fan, but I really like the way 23andMe did it because it showed the origin of your family. It went back as far into your DNA as it could go to show which nation came first in your DNA. This is a period of over 500 to 1,000 years. I am so proud. I wore my African hat. I mean, I knew I was African, but the point is that I'm 50% African, and out of that 50% of African, I'm not only just North African and Moroccan and Egyptian, but I'm also East African, which is like Somalia and Ethiopia, and West Africa, where most of the slaves came from, and Zimbabwe and all those southern. So having, like 18 nations out of Africa, I really feel African, okay? And the other percentage being divided from, since we already mentioned the Dorseys, they have a heavy DNA in our family, which consists of Scandinavian, Norwegian, and mainly Irish and, what's the other one? Irish and Welsh. I knew about the Welsh, but I didn't know about the Irish, right? And this is over a period of hundreds of years. It doesn't mean, and so when you see the chart takes you from way back, could be 1600, 1300, 1200, and brings you up to the 1900s. So it goes back maybe, what is it, coming 100, 19, what is that, 1,000 years or 100 years? Every century. A century is 10. Okay, so that's every 100 years. So it brings you up, and I want to know, so I'm going to have that done, because I did it with Ancestry. So, make a long story short, it gives you the origin, like one of my family members, other than this group, their origin started in Asia, in the Philippines and Cambodian neighborhood, all right? But today it came through all of that, through the Scandinavian after that, because people intermarry, have children, and then by the 1900s, his family was African American mostly. African Americans didn't appear in his family lineage for hundreds of years. So that way you can get a broad scope of your full lineage. And because it's not on your DNA report, doesn't mean you're not Native American, or doesn't mean you're not Cambodian. What it means is you did not have enough DNA of that nation to get a marker to record it, because the longer the time goes, the less DNA you get as the families mix. So if you can, go with 23andMe, and then you can always do Ancestry later.
All right. We're gonna